Hi folks, welcome to Pleasure Island Conversations once again. I'm your host Monty Tomlin, and I've had Beverly Andrews on, and she's done such a great job. And our next guest would have been a man from the Symphony, but I'm going to let Beverly do the interview. I think she knows more about him than I do. So Beverly, take it away.
Thank you, Monty.
You're welcome. Glad to have you.
I'm Beverly Andrews, concertmaster of the Wilmington Symphony. And this is the man from the Symphony. This is a program that we call Meet the Musicians. And this is Alex Tomlin. He is with me in the Wilmington Symphony. And we smile at each other from across a crowded room.
Long way.
Because he's the percussionist. And he's one of them.
Yep.
He has to wear track shoes sometimes because they run up and down behind the orchestra as the symphony is going on, reaching the different instruments. So before we get to the instruments, Alex, it's really nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
And your name is Alex Tomlin.
Tomlin, yep.
Are you here in town?
Yep, live locally. Well, I live in Leland, but I'm from here, and I work here as well. Yep.
You work here? Like what?
Indeed. I'm a school teacher. I work at Williston Middle School, and I'm an elective teacher there. I teach business to all three grade levels, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So the curriculum differs. 6th grade is more like entrepreneurship. 7th grade is more like keyboarding skills. 8th grade is not entrepreneurship. 8th grade is Microsoft Excel and business skills in terms of learning how to get a job, learning how to keep a job, correct dress, how to talk properly, stuff like that. So I love it. I love what I do.
Do they know you're in the symphony?
They do. They know a lot more about me probably than they should. They're funny. They were like, Mr. Tomlin, what's your full name? And they literally Google me, and some of my stuff comes up from the symphony, and they're looking at me like, that's you. So oh my God, you had hair then. So all kinds of funny
Alex.
stuff. Yeah. So they're great. I love working with them.
Well, I can hear the joy in your voice.
Yes.
Yeah, so shout out to your students.
Williston Middle School, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, Mr. Tomlin's class. What's up, kids? Love y'all. Do the right thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Alex, your job in the symphony is the percussionist. What does that mean exactly? Percussionist,
you play an assortment of instruments. So I learned that, growing up, because I only knew quote unquote drummers, but being more, I guess you could say classically minded, we're known as percussionists. And it's just playing an assortment of instruments, being snare drum, bass drum, triangle, cymbals, kettle drum or timpani, a bunch of different instruments, some of which I've brought with me today, but that's basically what it is.
Well, if you play all those instruments, do you have separate music for each instrument?
Sometimes, yeah. So we'll have maybe one sheet of music, and there'll be a bunch of different parts charted on that one sheet of music. And like the last concert, I was the only percussionist, so I had to write cues on some of my music over here because I had to go over here at certain times, and just switching back, having those track shoes on, like you said.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's fun.
Well, it is fun, and I have percussion.
There you go. How about
Only
that?
I don't usually play it like that.
Right.
Do you have something made out of wood?
Yeah.
Did you bring something?
Sure. Yeah. Well, a couple things. So, one instrument, claves. These are made out of wood. People sometimes play them like this, or you can more classically speaking, you hold them like that and kind of play them like that. But so these are made out of wood, called the claves.
Well, wait. When on the music, does it say clave hit now?
Well, it says it'll have clave, and then I have the rhythm or the rest, and after the rest, we come in or whatever. But
so you have to count.
Yeah, counting. Oh my God! As a percussionist, yeah, I count a lot. Sometimes I lose myself in counting. This is like.
So if somebody wanted to be a percussionist when they grew up, they need to pay attention in math class.
Definitely need to pay attention in math class, and if you can't count to 4, typically you can't be a percussionist. Over and over and over and over again.
Over and over.
Yeah.
So sometimes I watch you and you're just standing there counting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so let's take a little break and then we'll get some more instruments out. Okay, Alex?
Sure, sounds good.
Thanks. Welcome back to Pleasure Island Conversations. This is Meet the Musicians. for the Wilmington Symphony. I'm Beverly Andrews, the concertmaster of the Wilmington Symphony, a violinist, and with me today is Alex Tomlin, percussionist with the Wilmington Symphony.
Yes, ma'am.
Our concerts are down at the Wilson Center, downtown Wilmington, on Saturday nights at 7:30, about 6 or 8 times during the year. And today, Alex is showing me a little bit of the magic that happens back in the percussion section with these different instruments. So what do you have now?
I brought a few different things, castanets, ratchet.
Get them up here.
Get them up here, all right. Ratchet, castanets, we'll try to hold them on.
Ratchet?
Yeah, that thing there.
I have never touched one of
Shaker.
these,
You have
although
never?
I've seen you across the symphony.
Yeah.
It looks lethal.
It looks that way, it's not.
What is it? What do you do?
So ratchet, this is a peculiar instrument. It's in a few pieces, and it's meant to like bring it's almost like a sound effect kind of instrument, you know. So case in point with the Nutcracker, it's in the Nutcracker. It's in a few things that I've done in a few plays, live plays at Thalian Hall. But yeah, it's just the ratchet, you know, just. And that's the sound it makes. It's kind of obnoxious to some people, but kids love it.
Do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Go kind of fast.
In your music, does it say fast or slow ratchet?
No, not really. You just kind of gauge it depending on what's happening. If it's like a soft mellow part, which typically you might have a soft mellow part. You know you don't have to do it as fast, but the turns, the revolutions depend on how fast or how slow the sound is. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, the conductor is right up there by me, and he's looking over all the orchestra as the music is going, and he's got the score that has everybody's music on it.
Yep.
And sometimes he goes, Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
He accused me a lot.
and you've already been counting yourself. You know that it's time to come in, but it's comforting.
It really is. Steve does a great job of that.
He does. Steve Orante.
Yes, he does.
And so if you're going to come in with an instrument like this, it's nice to have a little encouragement.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't want to come in at the wrong time. I've done that with crashes and other things, but yeah, ratchet, it's obnoxious and it's very obvious, so you know.
Great.
Yep.
And what else do we have here?
Got ratchet, castanets, these things here. And I actually ordered these because they're normally handheld, but I ordered these because sometimes I'm playing drum set at Thalian Hall for some of my shows, and I'll have to do a quick transition, go from snare or drums straight to castanets, and so I ordered these. Are tabletop castanets, and the sound is okay. It could be better, but they sound pretty good. So I'll play a little bit of those.
So usually people do this?
Yes, you can either do that. There's some that are on kind of like sticks or like rods or anything, and they're kind of strung up there. But, so these are. So that's kind of how castanets work. Yeah, we're kind of sliding as I was playing them.
I love that.
Yeah, these are great. So Dr. Rack he hates these in particular because he said they sound too light, but that's just Dr. Rack, John Rack, who's our timpanist.
He's another percussionist in the Wilmington Symphony.
Indeed, he is.
Yes.
So castanets there. You got the kielbasa here. You hear this in more Latin.
Kielbasa, like sausage?
A kielbasa.
Kielbasa.
Yeah, C-A-B-A-S-S-A, kielbasa.
And do that.
Yeah, this is, so you hold this here, and then you turn it basically with the handle. Yeah, kielbasa. It's pretty cool. You'll hear that in more like Latin type of music there. So kielbasa, and then, see, we already had claves. Shaker, it's really simple, just simple there.
I can just picture you practicing all this at home.
Oh, absolutely. My biceps are so strong because I'm just sitting there for hours, just going with the kielbasas. But I'm not kielbasa, shaker. I'm calling everything the wrong thing.
Shaker. Okay.
Shaker, already got the ratchet. Oh, and then this guy here. How can I forget the largest of them all? Slapstick. Yeah, I won't do it too loud, but yeah. So. This one is another peculiar instrument meant to be kind of obnoxious, but very obvious, in the sleigh ride.
The whip?
The whip.
Oh.
This is the whip, yeah. So, and that's just a very mild version of how it's played, but Yeah, people love this instrument.
Play the real version.
The real version? You can cover your ears?
Yes.
I'll play it over here. So it's kind of loud and
Excellent.
so it makes you jump a little bit.
Well, when you were a child, did you know you wanted to be a percussionist?
No, funny story. I didn't. I actually wanted to play tuba when I was I know,
That's
crazy.
a great instrument.
It is a great instrument. So I wanted to play tuba as I was growing up, and my dad was like, "Tuba? No, boy, you want to play drums?"
Yeah.
And I realize now that was him vicariously living through me. You know, he wanted to play drums, so he kind of forced me into it. But I love it now, and I wouldn't have chosen another instrument. So.
Some of the little children that I know are choosing their instruments for their life, and a lot of children want to be percussionists.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to be drummers.
Oh yeah, totally.
But by the time you get all grown up and are in a symphony, there are only maybe 4 of you. So what makes a difference? Why do some people end up being a percussionist and some don't?
I think at some point, I think some parents maybe force their children to be active and, you know, choose an extracurricular activity like band or something like that. Some people stick with it, some others don't. Like I know I particularly wanted to stick with it, and that's one of the reasons why I joined the symphony, because when I graduated college, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, no more band, no more music. Like, you know, I still want to have my gift to be able to read music. So that's what encouraged me to want to audition for the symphony and continue playing with the symphony as long as I could, you know. So I think it's just an individual thing. Some kids choose to stick with it, some kids love it, and maybe others don't, so they kind of let it die.
Well, I think you're a natural.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise.
And if anyone wants to be in the symphony, there are auditions twice a year, August and January.
Yep.
They are blind, which means you're behind a partition, and then there's a panel sitting that you cannot see, and they cannot see you.
Yep.
You know that some symphonies even have padded floors so that the panel cannot know how big the person is who's coming in to audition.
I did not know that. That's awesome, though.
There's a lot of mystique in symphony work.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I
Oh,
enjoyed
there's
it.
one more thing.
Uh-oh.
You were in Wrightsville Magazine a while back
I was.
because you were, you had a bow tie collection.
I did. Still do.
I loved your bow ties.
Yeah.
Do your students know that about you?
They do. They've seen the picture from that magazine article on the internet, and they laugh at me about that. They laugh about everything, but yeah, they know about it as well.
I think they love you.
Oh yeah, and I love them as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for coming to
Indeed.
Meet the Musician.
Indeed.
Wilmington Symphony. WilmingtonSymphony.org.